I really wanted to bring some attention to the disclosure that is happening of UFOs.
Yeah, they're taking a very calculated approach to this whole disclosure thing. What their agenda really is, in my personal opinion, is to gather information, gather intel from the general public just to appease us. In other words, keep us, hey, give us your information. We'll take a look at it. They know everything that's going on in real time, nonstop. 99% of the time, somebody reports something, they've already known about it, probably even have better intel on it than the person that's reporting it. People that used to hear me talk about UFOs and aliens and life on other planets 10, 15, 20 years ago are now all coming back to me saying, hey, I can't believe it. You were right the whole time. And they're starting to ask more questions. So even though we're not getting the kind of disclosure we actually want from the government, we are getting the fact that they're talking about it enough to where now people are saying, oh, this is actually real. There are potentially UFOs and beings from other planets and so forth and so on. So now it's an open discussion. It's just gradually, drip by drip, people are becoming more aware and more understanding and opening their minds more to the reality that we're not alone. And they're starting to ask more questions. So the benefit of all of this Arrow and ATIP and all these other programs, the benefit that we do have, at least the fact that people are becoming more open to this information. A bit of advice I have, I should say, is to really scrutinize the government's version of the facts. If somebody's just getting into this and they're basing their perspective only on what the Pentagon releases or what government press release says, then what they're going to find is they're really just following an agenda, which always is about follow the money. The government agenda is to make money, and it always is. It's all about money and power. How does that work out in this particular case with UFOs and UAPs? Well, first of all, let's look at this. They renamed UFO to UAP. They didn't want to be labeled as tinfoil wearing hat crazies like they told us we were, so they changed the acronym to UAP. Number two, unfortunately, we've gone around the world already and brought democracy to a lot of nations. And through that method of bringing democracy to nations and taking over their resources and installing puppet dictators, we've really generated trillions of dollars and a lot of money through wars that were kind of really initiated on our own part. There are no more countries to invade and there are no more resources to steal. And so now it goes to, hey, well, what are we going to do now to continue to keep funding this war engine? Well, we got to make the Space Force. And so we're going to create this Space Force. And they're now a national threat. They're an international, global threat to security even. Veterans have come forward and testified that these vehicles have showed up live at flights. Flights are nuclear silos way out in the middle of nowhere, all around the world, not just in America. And they've shown up in broad daylight, and they've actually deactivated nuclear codes on live nukes, sending us a message that, hey, you guys aren't going to use these even if you wanted to. And so they realize, hey, let's flip this. We know they've showed up, but we're going to turn this into a negative. They can access our nukes. They can destroy the planet whenever they're ready. We should be afraid of these beings. And so in order to do this, we're going to need to fund trillions of dollars of U.S. tax dollars into this Space Force. When you analyze what they're really doing, they're saying we've run out of places to invade. We have no more wars to fight. So now we got to take the war to space. And these beings are our next natural enemy. And so they're going to use a fear tactic to make the hearts of Americans flutter, to get us to think that there's a threat in space that's coming to Earth to destroy us. And we have to now unify together to fight against this alien race, whoever they are. Like Rush said, we have vehicles not of this world and bodies, fully intact body. So where are these things? Well, they're in an underground base somewhere being reverse engineered, and we're converting them into new high-tech black budget vehicles that are flying around TR-3B and the Aurora projects and all these other projects that are supposed to exist that are really not being held out front and saying, hey guys, this is our new technology. This is what we've got. Because if they do that, people are going to say, hey, well, we want this technology because it can be utilized for things in civilian society that can make our lives better. So that's why they keep these things tucked away. They want to use them as war machines only and not give that technology to the people who deserve it.